So how cool is this? I got to visit with the Napa Fire Department. These guys protect our community around the clock 24/7, and they provide immediate emergency response and medical services, obviously, to the city and surrounding areas of Napa. And also they train all the time to kind of get their craft down there. Very, very professional on what they do. Napa Fire Department is just extraordinary. So I am part of the Citizens Academy here for Napa, and one of the things that we got to do was to do a ride along, if you wanted to, which I did, with the Napa Fire Department. So I showed up at Fire Station 1 at 8 o'clock in the morning, met the captain, and he kind of walked me through all the engines and gave me a tour of the firehouse, which was, just amazing. Every kid wants to see the firehouse and see fire trucks. And, I'm a kid at heart, so I definitely wanted to see this. So they went through all the trucks, and, they have like 500 gallons of water on them, and the ropes and quick response kits, and, everything's packed away where they know everything is. They always do inventory on this stuff. They always make sure that everything's in great repair. And then, about 5 minutes when I was there, they were on a call. And Fire Station 1 got their 3 beeps and then their call letters, basically, and they went out. They jumped into the truck. We were in the truck pretty much instantaneously and out the door. They were responding. They know from a 911 call that there was an injury. A construction worker fell off a roof, and they were responding to that. They respond more medical responses, obviously, than fires, but they're prepared to do both, and they train for both. So there's basically 3 guys to a truck, 1 paramedic, and they work in concert. They wear these headphones on their heads with microphones so they can communicate to each other. And then they have them a map of the entire city, and they know exactly where they're going, and they know the response time that it takes to get there, pretty much. And usually they beat the ambulance to get there. And then that's what took place in this case. They were able to get there before the ambulance, see what was going on, assess what the gentleman's condition was, made sure that he was stabilized, and then basically got him ready to go for a handoff to the ambulance. And so when they pull up, they know exactly what they're doing, and it's like a small little concert of events that take place. So the guy fell off this roof here. The emergency response came out. They assessed the damage. And then when the ambulance came in, the paramedic that was with the fire truck went with the guy to the hospital. So that was pretty amazing. So when I got back here, I had a moment to kind of do little shots of the inside of the fire station, how they live, and the kind of areas that they hang out in. And it's very sparse. It's not as opulent as you think it may be. And then, since there was 2 new guys in the firehouse in the truck, not new, but they were new to the fire crew, they went through what they call evolution. So where they have they practice going through a window, 2-story window here at one of the fire stations, and they have actually 4 minutes to by the time they unhook, they get out of the truck to get up that building, hook up to the fire hydrant, and start putting out the fire. So the clock starts basically when they get out of the truck, and then they hook up to the fire hydrant and get water to the truck. So these guys are working really hard to get their equipment on, get the ladder up there, and then they're being assessed by the captains in how they're doing. So they do this many, many times to where it's muscle memory and basically second nature in how to do it. So I was pretty impressed how quickly they got up there. They were actually up in about 4 minutes, and they were almost right on the dot. When they went through the window and he started spraying the water out of the window, it was like 4 minutes and 3 seconds or something. So, and then they went through it a couple times, because after they go through and do this drill and actually get the water and spray it out there, there captain's on the inside watching what they're doing on the inside of the building there, and then there's a captain on the outside checking what they were doing. So they get together, they kind of huddle up, and they kind of talk about, you know, what went on and how they you know, performed, and what's a better way to hold the hose, and you know what, you know, the balancing on the ladder, how they should tie off the hose when so one kick and they won't lose any distance of the rope once it's up into the second story. So these guys are, you know, very, very professional. I'm just amazed at, you know, how hard they were working just on this practice drill, and they weren't doing it just for me, because, you know, they were doing it for themselves, because they wanted to know, you know, actually what it feels like. And so when it gets to that, it's almost second nature, and it's muscle memory at that point. So these guys are very, very professional, and they train for each instance. So you know, they come back in, they do their paperwork, and pretty much, you know, that's what their job is. And it's amazing what they do. My hats are off to them. If I had a hat on right now, I would just tip it to them. These guys are so professional. They're so on it. Amazing job. We are very lucky to have the Napa Fire Department be as professional as they are, and they, believe me, they are. So if you get an opportunity to tour the fire station, I would definitely do it. Life in Napa. Visit once, stay forever.